and these were the names of his daughters, Mahlah, Noah, Haglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses, before Eleazar the priest, and before the leaders and all the congregation by the doorway of the tabernacle of meeting, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, but he was not in the company of those who gathered together against the Lord, in company with Korah, but he died in his own sin, and he had no sons. We'll conclude our reading at this point, the book of Numbers, chapter 27, verse 3. You've been listening to a serialized reading of the Bible, the New King James Version, with episodes presented each morning at 8:15 on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Your reader has been Barbara. Thank you for listening.
The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability, which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Hello, this is P. Fitz, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from the March 26th issue of the Challenger Community News on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Young Entrepreneur Marketplace Showcase Youth-Led Businesses in Rochester. The Young Entrepreneur Marketplace, in partnership with the Black Men Achieve Youth Mentorship Program, hosted the 11th Young Entrepreneur Marketplace event at the Danforth Community Center on West Avenue in Rochester. This exciting event featured over 20 youth-led businesses showcasing the talent and creativity of young entrepreneurs from across the community. The Young Entrepreneur Marketplace provides a unique platform for youth age 7 to 18 to display their business ideas, connect with the community, and gain real-world experience in entrepreneurship. Attendees had the opportunity to shop for various products, including homemade crafts, fashion, food items, and more, all created by the young business owners themselves. During the event, community members were encouraged not only to shop, but also to provide words of encouragement to the young entrepreneurs. A supportive environment is essential for fostering their confidence and helping them grow as future business leaders. The Young Entrepreneur Marketplace aims to inspire, empower, and support young people in their entrepreneurial journey. It was created in Rochester, with the first in-person event being held at the First Genesis Baptist Church in September of 2019. Long-awaited Jefferson Avenue streetscape construction schedule. The project will construct new curbs, sidewalks, street lighting, and more. The first phase of the long-awaited Jefferson Avenue streetscape project has begun. The $20 million upgrade is part of a broader $32.5 million project from Jefferson and Best to Jefferson and Main Street. It is designed to improve roadway conditions, pedestrian safety, and accessibility. The project will construct new curb, sidewalk, cycle track, bump outs, street lighting, traffic signals, and resurfaced asphalt. The schedule, project start week of March 9th of 2026. Water main repairs at Ferry Street intersection. Storm drainage installation, work zone traffic control. From March to June is stage 1. One northbound and one southbound travel lane will be stripped or striped along the west side of the roadway for the entire project limit. On-street parking will be provided when construction activity is not present. From June to September is stage 2. One northbound lane and one southbound travel lane will be striped along the east side of the roadway for the entire project limit. On-street parking will be provided when the construction activity is not present. From September to November, stage 3, traffic will be shifted as necessary to allow for asphalt paving operations. Curb and sidewalk construction. East side completed in stage 1, west side completed in stage 2. Traffic signals. All traffic signals will be reconstructed with new equipment. Existing signals will remain in operation until the new signals are installed. Street lighting. Street lighting will be removed and installed in conjunction with the sidewalk construction. Existing street lighting will be maintained on one side of the street until new lighting is operational. Milling and paving the roadway completed in stage 3, scheduled to begin in September. Over 1,000 teens apply to the City for Summer Youth Jobs program. Application period closed after overwhelming response, but City of Buffalo still accepted host sites for program. Mayor Sean Ryan announced today that the City of Buffalo has received over 1,000 applications for the Mayor's Summer Youth Internship Program. Due to the tremendous response, the city has closed the application portal to allow staff in the Department of Community Services and Recreational Programming to begin reviewing submissions. The overwhelming response to this program shows just how eager Buffalo's young people are to get meaningful work experience, Mayor Ryan said. While applications are now closed, the city is still accepting employer host sites interested in partnering with the program to provide meaningful internship opportunities for Buffalo youth this summer. Organizations interested in participating as employer host sites can continue to apply through the City of Buffalo's website. In Black history, first black newspaper founded in March of 1827. Before the 1863 Emancipation Proclamation, more than 40 black-owned newspapers were founded primarily in the North to abolish slavery and, to abolish slavery and advocate for human rights. Freedom's Journal, established in 1827, the same year that slavery was abolished in New York State, was the first African American owned and operated newspaper in the United States. In its early years, it distributed more than 800 copies throughout 11 states and the District of Columbia. It reached as far as Canada, Haiti, and the United Kingdom for an annual subscription cost of $3. The newspaper was founded on March 16, 1827, at 5 Varick Street in Lower Manhattan, New York, by Jamaican-born John Brown Russwurm. Bowdoin College's first African American graduate and only the third black person to graduate from an American college. Co-founder Samuel Eli Cornish born in Sussex County in Delaware, and the graduate of the Free African School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Also founded Shiloh Presbyterian Church, the first black Presbyterian church in Manhattan in 1822. Freedom's Journal was entertaining and informative. Its pages included articles regarding improving education, health, and living conditions for over 300,000 free black women and men living in northern states of the U.S. The paper had a classified section that included a listing of schools, jobs, affordable places to live. There was also a social section that printed information about birth, death, and wedding announcements. The paper's primary focus, however, remained the campaign to end slavery in the South and fight racial discrimination in the North. On March 28th of 1829, Freedom Journal ceased publication after releasing only 103 issues. In April of 1829, Samuel Cornish revived the newspaper, changing the name to The Rights of All. However, that publication survived for only 8 months. Friday Night Live, the party and the healing continues. With the start of the long-awaited streetscape on Jefferson, marked by orange cones and reduced driving lanes stretching down the avenue from Best to Main Street, everybody wants to know, will the city's beloved Friday Night Live take place this summer? Absolutely, said Marnetta Malcolm, Friday Night Live's visionary founder. From 5:30 p.m. and to 9 p.m., and this year, we're even starting early on June 19th in celebration of Juneteenth. Of course, with all the construction, the fourth annual Party with a Purpose will have to make some adjustments. The city has been very helpful with planning this out. Marnetta continued, we would like to take it out to the community, so we're just going around the block, starting from East Utica and Jefferson to Hoff. There will still be access to sitting in front of the businesses along Jefferson to listen to the music, make connections, and mingle with friends and family. But dancing in the street, food trucks, and other setups will be along that portion of East Utica. With the street under construction, my main concern is about safety, she said. Friday Night Live, she concluded, means too much to people not to make sure it happens. Ms. Malcolm conceived the idea in the wake of the racially motivated Jefferson Avenue Tops Market massacre to help the community heal, encourage support for local entrepreneurs, strengthen ties, and to set a positive example for the younger generation. The Funk Fest will also take place in the same area. When you know you're doing good, you have to continue because of what it means to this community, she concluded. In the Health Matters section, Eat to Live, healthy organs and healthy eating during the spring season. Organs associated with spring season. In our bodies, the organs associated with the spring are the liver, the gallbladder, which governs the muscles, joints, tendons, and ligaments. The liver the emotion of anger strongly affects the liver. So try to keep cool, no matter the circumstances. The kidneys are said to be the mother of the liver. If the liver is overactive, it will deplete the kidneys. If the kidneys are deficient, the liver will lack support. When the liver is deficient, there may be pain, weakness, and stiffness. Spring foods that support the liver include cabbage, sauerkraut, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, other sprouts, kale, dandelion, salad greens, beets, red peppers, carrots, onions, garlic, soy, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, almonds, spirulina, whole grains, flaxseed, fish oil, olive oil, apples, other juicy fruits, lemon juice, grapefruit juice, turmeric powder. Foods that remove liver stagnation include onions, leeks, garlic, mustard greens, turmeric, basil, bay leaf, cardamom, cumin, fennel, dill, ginger, black pepper, horseradish, rosemary, mint, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, beets, strawberries, peach, cherry, raw vegetables, and fruit, apple cider vinegar with honey. Foods that improve the liver include apple cider vinegar, lemon, lime, grapefruit. Foods that cleanse the liver include rye, romaine lettuce, asparagus, amaranth, quinoa, citrus peel. And foods that cool the liver, heat, mung bean sprouts, celery, seaweeds, kelp, lettuce, cucumber, tofu, watercress, millet, plum, chlorella, spirulina, daikon radish, rhubarb, and foods that build the liver, yin and blood, the mung bean sprouts, cucumber, tofu, millet, flaxseed oil, spirulina, chlorella, dark grapes, raspberries, and blackberries. Importantly, foods to avoid are foods that cause liver stagnation, such as red meat, cream, cheese, eggs, butter, rich nuts, lards, margarine, most oils except for fish, flaxseed, and olive oil, alcohol. There's a complete natural medicine guide by Dr. Sat Dram Kaur. That's the source of this list. It's the foods to avoid are far fewer than the ones that are good for you, and of course the good ones are help in many different ways. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the from the Challenger, March 26th issue on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Under business profile, Tony DuBois. With more than 30 years of experience as a life and health agent and over 20 years in property and casualty, Tony DuBois, her career has been rooted in a lifelong commitment to caring for others. As the eldest of 7, she naturally embraced responsibility early on, something that continues to shape her professional approach today. Insurance has given me the opportunity to extend that care on a much broader scale. Over the years, I've proudly served the clients through my work with Prudential and by operating a farmer's agency for 7 years. Notably, I was honored to become the first African American female in New York State to own a farmer's agency, an achievement that expanded our ability to protect not only individuals and families, but also local businesses. We are MWBE City and Erie County certified, she stated. An independent agent, she currently owns and operates the Tony DuBois agency. At the heart of everything we do is a dedication to exceptional customer experience. We believe education is essential, and we make it our priority to empower our clients through group sessions, personalized policy reviews, and DMV-approved defensive driving courses. Our mission is simple: to inform, protect, and serve with integrity. For more information, you can call 716-931-5200. The voice of Betty Jean Grant. It's getting too expensive to live or do business in Buffalo and New York State. Come on now, how many homeowners and small business owners can afford the increase in property taxes, rental inspection fees, New York State and Buffalo license and inspection and permit fees, and all the other increases in services provided that I have not been even named, and that I have not even named. I endorsed Sean Ryan, mayor of Buffalo, and I voted for him because Buffalo desperately needed a change in regime. After almost 19 years with the same administration, almost everyone felt that the Brown administration had done all that it could or was able or willing to do. Even though Chris Scanlon was appointed to fulfill the last 18 months of Brown's last administration, to this writer's belief, Scanlon's mayoral administration was just a continuation of what Mayor Brown had in place for the past 18 odd years. In South District, council member, Buffalo Common Council Council's president pro tempore, and later as council president, council member Scanlon seemed to be one of Brown's most faithful allies and a guaranteed rubber stamp for whatever Brown put before the Common Council. Fact is, Common Council member Scanlon was the lead coordinator and motivator behind the successful but potentially unethical stamp write-in initiative launched by the Brown for Mayor campaign after Byron Brown lost the 2021 Democratic primary for mayor to community organizer and activist India Walton. As a longtime business owner of over 46 years in the east side of Buffalo, the almost 200% increase in the license to operate my small deli store on East Ferry has increased from an annual fee of $175 to $500 for the year. On top of this increase, there have been increases in the city of Buffalo's property taxes, user fees, water and sewer rates. The city is asking for more money from struggling businesses who are serving the customers who themselves have less to spend because they are working with less or the same amount of money and who also have seen their household budget shrink because they have had fees and taxes increases, the same as the business owners. Now, the Buffalo community is being hit with the prospect of having to swallow or cough up a 25% property tax increase. That is absurd and will definitely be a great hardship to our senior citizen population and also to the working families with children who are having a hard time with gas, electric, and daycare bills, and even with putting food on the table. The city of Buffalo is a once glorious city that has almost been destroyed by inept and visionless politicians who were bent on accommodating the needs of out-of-towners instead of making living in the city easier for those who stayed and who did not follow the 33 expressway out of Buffalo. The decision to cut down beautiful, stately trees and replace them with concrete and metal in front of the Humboldt Parkway's home owners' front yards was not an I Love Buffalo move. The idea to cut down the trees that further divided neighborhoods was a racist act and was an environmental racism move even before we knew what that term meant. I have a message for our new mayor. Please make Buffalo the lead agency on the Restore Humboldt Parkway project. Also, work to keep Buffalo affordable for all, especially for those of us who could have left the city and moved to the suburbs, but made the decision to stay because we love living here so much. Under the diaspora column, national, 600,000 black women estimated to have lost their jobs in 2025. That's the estimated 600,000. That's the estimated number of black women who lost their jobs in 2025. And this year, the employment rate among black women rose from unemployment rate rose from 6.4% in January to 7.1% in February, according to the National Women's Law Center. Economists and labor experts warn this is not a natural fluctuation. Instead, they point to the Trump administration's anti-black policies and the rapid expansion of AI as forces disproportionately sidelining black women, many of them college educated. You have been listening to a reading of articles and features from the March 26th issue of the Challenger Community News. We read from the Challenger Community News every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Your reader has been P. Fitz. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have a reading of the Batavia Daily News. Following that at 10 o'clock is the East Aurora Advertiser, and at 11 we have the Niagara Gazette. Stay with us for these readings and more throughout the day. You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Our volunteer radio readers broadcast daily readings of printed matter to our listeners who are blind or have a print disability throughout Western New York and Southern Ontario's Niagara Peninsula. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service has brought nearly 40 years and more than 300,000 hours of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. For more information, call us at 716-821-5555. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Hello, this is Debbie, and for the next hour, I'll be reading from the March 31st issue of the Batavia Daily News on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Our first article, Pathstone to purchase the Ellicott Station. Severino says sales agreement has been executed. This article is written by Mike Pedinella. Ellicott Station has a buyer. Samuel Severino, Chief Executive Officer and President of Severino Companies in Buffalo, on Sunday reported that Pathstone Development Corporation of Rochester is purchasing the 5-story apartment building at 56 Ellicott Street. A property sales agreement between Ellicott